Kemba Walker showed up big time in the Celtics Game 3 win over the 76ers. I'm Sierra Goodwill here with Bobby Manning and Josue Pavon. It felt like Kemba needed a game like this where he was really in his bag and had his shot going really well. And after the game, he took none of the responsibility for the win on himself. He gave all the praise to his teammates, as he always does, and just continues to be a really great leader for this team and exactly the kind of leader that they need. But let's talk about his performance. How important was the way he showed up in Game 3 when Jason Tatum was having an off night?
Oh, so
I thought it was everything. Yeah, he was able to get to the rim in this one, which we haven't seen at all in the bubble. I think going into this series, he was taking about 60% of his shots from three-point land, having great success out there, about 43%. But when he was going to the rim, he was getting swallowed up again and again. Didn't look like he had the burst to get there. We obviously know he was going through the knee soreness. And tonight, for the first time, using Embiid as a shield, putting some foul trouble on him in transition as he goes to the rim, finishing shot after shot. I think he had about 3 shots in a row at the rim in the third quarter that kept Boston ahead for most of that quarter. And you can't say enough about his continued advancement throughout this bubble. We didn't even know if he was going to be able to play at all coming in, and he's been great every step of the way. Josue, you hit in post game, his best game yet tonight, 10 to 20, advancing on what he was doing in Game 2 with the in-between shot, shooting over that drop defense. And Brad has said a million times, he's just been gloating about the play where he knocked the ball from Embiid and sent Brown out for that 360 dunk. He's doing everything on the court. And Sierra, you said it. Tatum was off the floor, couldn't run the pick and roll, so Kemba picks it up with ease, and it was explosive as Tatum could possibly be there.
It was a tune-up game, Bobby. He's got to get ready for the second round. He's got a big matchup against the Toronto Raptors that I think he has circled on his calendar already.
Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry waiting for him. But no, all seriousness, obviously I don't think Kemba's that kind of player who's looking that far ahead. But I do think that there's a lot to be said about this momentum that he's going to have going into that series. And
Absolutely.
there's a lot to be said that, what he's going to mean working with the second unit. And for a game like this, right, where Jason Tatum struggled from the floor, in foul trouble, you need someone like that in the second half, someone who can bounce back and help Tatum out. And we all know Kemba's capable of that. But, to Bobby's point, when you're seeing him in his bag like this, when he's able to go inside and he's doing it at ease and he's doing it almost untouched in some instances, I feel like that's where you're starting to see, okay, his confidence is now through the roof. And I'm not saying that Kemba's confidence was weary, before this game, but I think just subconsciously, he was taking his time a bit, right? He was picking his spot. And especially when Philadelphia 76ers kept giving him that shot. But he elected to be more aggressive this time around. And I think that was very evident throughout that second half, as we all could tell that he was forcing the issue. And that's just something you love to see. And again, reminding everyone of just how important and how electric and explosive he can be in the second half to help carry the Celtics.
I was having some positive childhood flashbacks of the UConn.
Oh, here comes the UConn talk. Oh, boy.
UConn Pitt game with the Kemba step back. That was great. But
go ahead, Sierra. Let everybody know you're a UConn diehard, Husky for life.
Saw Kemba, Final Four.
Let him know. You saw him when he was a youngin'. Let him know.
Was watching him from the start. No, it was great to see that tonight. Definitely some flashbacks. But I mentioned it when I opened this video, but I want to revisit just his character as a leader on this team and how when the team loses, he takes responsibility. When they win and he plays great, he never takes the credit, which seems to be the antithesis of what was going on last year with Kyrie Irving. Just time and time again, he proves to be the leader by example, someone who gives positive reinforcement to his teammates when they need it the most. And he's exactly the kind of guy that you need to replace the shit show that was the Kyrie Irving situation.
Oh, yeah. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's the word.
And he's the best way.
He's the antithesis every step of the way. And he hates the comparison. The whole team prefers not to talk about Kyrie. But he has been the anti-Kyrie in that it doesn't have to revolve around him on the court. And he's still able to put all-star level production out there. This is the key turnaround for the Celtics this year, and it's almost unheard of in the NBA. You have a guy who's willing to do whatever is needed. He's great character, great locker room, and you can get that in role players. You can get that in starting caliber point guards. But you're getting this in one of the best point guards in the league. This guy is still a top 5 point guard in the league. Now, you can debate whether him and Kyrie, when Kyrie's healthy, are better. But you get the whole package with Kemba, and that's almost unmatched around the NBA. That's still what gets me the most this year, is that willingness to play in any role, that willingness to have on nights and off nights and work around 2 other stars on the team, and giving you the explosive game like tonight that he's capable of. Like, those 2 things don't go together ever. I can't think of another guy in the league like that, Josue.
No, no question. I can't think of another guy in the bubble who's happier than Kemba Walker. I mean, the guy can't stop smiling on and off the court, and there's a reason for that. It's his teammates. It's it's that camaraderie, but it's also the talent. He's around so much talent that he's never been around throughout the entire course of his 9-year career, and that's very significant for a couple of reasons. One is being the fact that he knows what it's like to be in that spot, right, in that situation, to have that pressure. He had all the pressure in the world in Charlotte for so many years, so he knows what that's like. But another thing that Kemba knows what it's like to be on the other side, right? Look at how many teammates he went through in Charlotte. Guys that were, whether they were trashed through the media for not playing at a particular level, or whether they were unfairly judged for their production. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Marvin Williams, guys who battled injuries, guys that were supposed to help him and turn that franchise around. You look at the Celtics talent level and all these young guys, and I just think he's really thinking about what he's been through and saying, look, these guys are not only talented, but they're young. The sky's the limit for them, and we are such a good team and a team that's able to compete at a high level and possibly win a championship. I mean, Kemba was one of the first guys talking championship talk. From the moment the Celtics arrived in Orlando, Brad wasn't talking championship. A lot of guys are trying to talk about just getting into the flow of things, but that's been Kemba's focus from day one.
Malik Monk, that's the name. He had so many teammates out there.
I know. I was in on the post-game press conference with Kemba Walker, and some really telling comments where he was like, this is why I came here. I've always been a winner, and now I finally get the opportunity to win in this league. He said, I've never in my life been up 3-0, and it's kind of cool. He said the job's not done yet, but he's definitely enjoying the moment and enjoying being around other players who can elevate his game instead of him doing that for everybody else. But for all of our Celtics,
you know better than everyone else, man. You've been watching Kemba since most of the Celtics fans that tune into this, So.
Gotta say, it hurts for Brad Wanamaker, who was on that pit team back then too. That's gotta hurt. Always having that reminder.
I love that that's the case. I love that. But for all of our Celtics post-season and post-game coverage, you can find it on our website at clnsmedia.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel over at Celtics All Access.
Get 20% off and free shipping using the code MAX20 at manscaped.com. Take your grooming game to the next level.